Hi everyone, my name is Andy Robertshaw. Today I'm going to be doing daily Killer Su Doku greater than 31648. That's 31648. Today is Saturday the 20th of June 2026. This is today's level 10 greater than puzzle. So I'll go for the places with few options first. I've got 16 kg there, a size 2, which is 7-9. So I must have at least 16 there, at least 16 there. I've got a 6 kg there, which is 1, 5 or 2, 4. My 11 kg there can't be 7, 4 or 9, 2, so it's 3, 8 or 5, 6. All three options are still open for this 7 kg. And all three options are still open for this 8 kg, 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5. If I look at the bottom left hand corner, I've got 3 12 kgs. So one must be 3, 9, one must be 5, 7, one must be 4, 8. And the other three numbers, 1, 2, 6, must occupy those three cells. So the 13 there can't be 6 and 7, so it's 4, 9 or 5, 8. The 9 can't be 4, 5 because it would take up both options for the 13 kg. So 1, 8, 2, 7 or 3, 6. Right, so maximum of 8 here. Maximum of 7 in a single cell. So minimum 16 and 8 and 6. So minimum of 30 between those, maximum of 15 between those. So still lots of options there. I'll do the 8 kg, 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. 16 plus 23 is 39, so that one's going to be 6. That one's not 6. No 6 there, I'll have to remember. What have I got in this box? A 19, at least 11 and 10. So minimum of 40 between those 3 cages. Maximum of 5 then between these other 2 cells. So nothing more than 4 to go there. Right, so this cage is at least 17. Feels like I've got lots of options still. In fact, what is interesting, I've got 7, 9 there. So I can't have 7 or 9 here. So remember I said minimum 30 there, maximum 15 there. Well, I must have the 9 as one of those. I couldn't have the 7 to go with it because then I'd have 16. So the 7 must be inside this 8 kg. So that's 1, 7. That's going to be 2, 4 then. So this 7 kg won't be 1, 6. So it's 2, 5 or 3, 4. So of 3 and 5, I've got 1 each in the 11 kg and the 7 kg there. So no 3s or 5s there. So I've got 6, 8, 2, 4 and 1 to go there. So no 1 there, no 1 here, and since that was a maximum of 8, I can no longer have the 7 there. Right, so what could I have to go with the 9 here? So it was maximum 15, so 16 and 8 and 6, that's minimum 30, so maximum 15 there. So maximum 6 to go with the 9, but can't have the 6, could be a 5, can't be a 4 or a 2 or a 1. So it's going to be 9 with 3 or 5. So the other one of 3 and 5 will go here, along with 6 and 8, but not a 6 in that one because of the 6 there. So 6 and 8 both there, no 6 or 8 here. Right, what else? Anything jumping out? So those 2 maximum 5. In fact, let's do the rest of this row. I've got 6 and 8 and 7, 9 there. I've got nothing more than 5 there. So 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 5 between those. But 1, 2, 6 there. So that's not 1 or 2. That one is 3, 4 or 5. So my 7 in this column must be that one or that one. Can't be there because of this one. Right, so what else can I see? Two, 3, 4, 5. I must have 7 and 9 between those three. I've not got any candidates where 7 and 9 could go. Could I have both 7 and 9 there? If I have both 7 and 9 there, I've got 16. If I got one there, then I've got 17 there. So they would have to be 8 and 9. In fact, I can't have a 1 there. I need the one in the 8 cage, so I can't have both 7 and 9 there, because the one I would need to go with it and keep it maximum 17 is required in the 8 cage. So they're not both 7 and 9. So this one must be 7 or 9. Can I similarly say 7 and 8? My only chance of having an 8 in that cage and not having it here, I must have 7 or 9 with it. I can't have 9 with it, because then I'd be on more than 17 for that, and that one would be impossible. So 8 would have to go with 7. I can't have a 1 there, so 8, 7, 2. So 8, 7, 2 is 17, and 8, 9 there. So the 8 would have to go there, the 7 there, the 2 there. That would be 1, 3, 4. 9 there. So 8, 9, 2, 1, 3, 4. I'd have 5, 6, 7 between those. Which would make that one 3 and 8. 5 there and 2 there. And 9 there, 7 there. Right, okay, that'll get complicated, but it's just about possible to have an 8 there. Not in that one, because if I got an 8 there, I need 8 and 9 between those two. Right. So let's see. Anything else jumping out? So 12, 12, 12 and 9 and minimum 10. That's 45, that's 55 there. Minimum 55 and 30. So minimum 85 between those. So those four can only be 5 more than that one. What else have I got? With 10, minimum 10, minimum 32 there, maximum 13 between the three of those. I know the minimum of that one, don't I? Right, so I've got maximum 9 and 4 there. With a 4 to go with it, I'm down to 9, 3. So 3, 4, 9 is 16, not more than 16. I can't have a 4 there. I could have 5 there with 9 and 4 for 18, but minimum 5 there, not 6 because I've got one there. So 5, 7, 8, 9. So 3 would be one of those. Not any of those. Not either of those two. Okay. Right. Can I do anything else? So that's. So I said maximum 13. So 10, 9, 13 there. Minimum 32. Maximum 13 between those. But minimum 5 there. Must have a maximum of 8 there. So nothing more than 7 could go in either of those two. Right, so anything more? Right. So 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I have mentioned all the numbers there. These four are 15 between them. So maximum 11 there. So 1, 3 I suppose I could have there for 4, and maximum 11 to go with them. I couldn't have both the 5 and 4 there, could I? Because I'd need a total of 6 there. And if I got both 5 and 4, then I've taken up both options. 5 and 3 is 8. I'd need 7 to go there, which would have to be 1 and 6, but I've got the 1 there already. So it's not 5, 3 for 8. If I've got a total of 7 there, it could be 3, 4 or 2, 5. If it's 3, 4, I need a total of 8 on top. Can't be 1, 7, can't be 2, 6, because I need 1 or 2 and 6 there. So it's not 3, 4, but could I have 2, 5 there? For 2, 5, I'd need 1, 7 again for the 8. So I don't have a total of 7 there. So 3, 5. So I can't have 7, 8 or 9 there. Could I have 6 there? So 6 could be 5, 1 or 2, 4. So if I've got 5 and 1 there, I need a total of 9 there. I could have 3 and 6. 5, 1 for 3 and 6. Or 2, 4, for a total of 9, 1, 8, 7, 1, 8 or 7, 2 if I've got 2 and 4 there. But I can't have those. I've got 1 and 7 there. So 2 and 4 is the only viable option for a total of 6 there that I've got so far. Total of 5 there, I could have 3, 2 or 1, 4. If it's 3, 2, I'd have to have 6 and 4. So I can't have, need total of 10. Can't be 2, 8 or 3, 7. Can't be 1, 9, would have to be 6 and 4. But I've got 6 there, so it'd have to be 6 and 4 that way round. So 3, 2 for 6, 4. Or 1, 4 for a total of 10. Not 1, 9, not 7, 3, not 4, 6. Would have to be 2 and 8. If I've got 4 there, it will be 1 and 3. I need a total of 11 there, which is not 3, 8, not 7, 4, but it could be 6, 5, or 2, 9. So 2 would have to go that side because of these. So 2, 9. Finally, 1, 2 for a total of 12 here. Not 7, 5. It could be 3, 9, or 4, 8. In fact, this makes the numbers up in this one. So I've got 3, 4, 8, 9 there. I could have any of those in here as well. So I've not narrowed down that as much as I would have hoped. In fact, I've not narrowed it down at all, given I can't have 1, 2 or 7 in that 1, 2, 6 or 7. I've got all the rest in there. Right. I've got 30 there, 11 there and 6 there. That's 47. So these two are 2 more than these two. In fact, I couldn't have a 1... If I got a 1 in those two, I'd need a 9 to go with it for it to be greater than 9. So I'd have 5, 8 in the 13 cage, 7 there, and I'd be left without a candidate for this one. So the 1 can't go there. With a 2 here, I could have 8 or 9 with it. 2, 8, 4, 9. So 5, 7 here. 2, 8, 4, 9. 3, 6. So I'm left with 5 or 7 there. That's possible. 2, 9, 5, 8, 7, 9. 2, 9, 5, 8, 7. 3, 6 again. Okay, that looks possible. Yeah, I've got options there. Let's do this one. This is minimum 11, so can't contain a 1. Also not a 6 there. I've got a 9 as one of these as well. I can de-underline this one. I've got 9 with 3 or 5 there. I don't have a 9 here. Right. Let's do the 10 cage. So anything apart from a 5 could go there. 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. A 5 inside the 19 cage would have to go with 6 and 8. So if I've got 5, 6 and 8 there, I could have 3, 7 or 1, 9 there. Must have a 7 or 9 in that one. Well, yes, I don't see why not. Right, so 3 there. In fact, I should have spotted. Should I have spotted this? Not a 1 there, because I've got 1, 7 there. 3, 5. I could have a 1 in that one, couldn't I? If I've got 1 there, I could have 7, 9 or 8, 9 between those two. That looks possible. Then I've got to have 3 or 5 there. So there's the 2 and the 4 certainly on the bottom row of that one. So only one of 2 and 4 on the... Sorry, 2 and 4 there. So I need both 2 and 4 on the middle row of this one. So that's 2, 4. And that one's going to be 6 and 8. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping something jumps out. So must have. Could I have 7, 1, 2? Is that possible? I must have 7 or 9 in this cage. So the very least I could have for the 3 of them is 10. So the very least I could have for that one is a 10. Right. In fact, if I've got 6 there, I need a 2 to go with it. It means I don't have 6 or 2 of any of those. So I'd have to have my 2 in that one, my 6 in that one, but both would have to be accompanied by a 5. So I couldn't have a 6 there for that reason, because I'd need 5, 2 and 6, 5. Need the 5 in both of those in that box. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 3 of 2, 3, 4 and 5 there. Must I have the other one of 2, 3, 4, 5 here? Well, 3 and 5, no. I've got 3 or 5 there, 3 or 5 there. So in fact, I shouldn't have had 3 at all as a candidate for that one. But I must have whichever one of 2 and 4 is not inside that 7 cage. So 2, 3, 4, 5 between those. So these cannot be 2, 3, 4 or 5. So 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, but not a 6 in that one because I've got the 6 there. Also not a 1 in this one because I need the 1 inside the 8 cage. Right, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So just thinking some more. If I've got 1, 9 there, then this 13 cage must be 4, 9. And I've got 7 with 5. Can't have 7, 5 there because I've only got maximum 16 between those. So 1, 9, 7, 4, 9, 8. I'd have 7 and 8 there. And a minimum of 2 there. So 2 or 4 to go in that one. And did I say maximum 5 here? So I've got 11, 10 and 9, minimum 40. So if I've got 1, 9 there, I'd need 2 and 3 there. 5 and 9 there and 8 there. And 3, 6 there. 1, 9, 2, 3. It would mean this inequality's tight as well. With 5 there, I've got to have 11 there. And with 1, 9 and 2, 3 gone, I'd have 4, 7 or 5, 6 there. And an 8 inside the 19 cage. Okay, with a 2, 8 there. Not a 2 there, so 1, 3 or 1, 4. Right. Can't have 2 and 8 on the top row of that cage though with that. So let's see, with 3 and 7 there, 1 with 2 or 4 there, 9 there, 5 or 8 there, so that 13 cage be 4 and 9. So with the 3 and 7, I need one in each of those 2 cages. But that from memory was a maximum of 8. Right, so 9, 5. So that's 32 there, minimum 5 there, maximum 8 there. So if we've got the 7 in that one, it would have to go with a 1. So it'd be 1, 7, 3, 6, 4, 9. I wouldn't, with 1, 7 there, I wouldn't, I'd have to put the 2 in that one, and I couldn't make it greater than 9. So the 2, with 3, 7 there, I need 2, 7 there, and 9 there, and 4, 9 there. So 2, 7, 4, 9, 5 and 8 there. Yeah, so struggling with that still. Right, fine. So these 12 cages are not in the same column. Very often I can choose options for a cage of different value and consider how many different 12 cage options I break into, but that wouldn't work for me this time around. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so 1. Yeah. So what was that total again? I got 34 there, so total 11 there. If I've got 8 there, I need 2 and 1 to go with it. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 8, 2, 1. So at least 15 there. But I'm left to 3, 4 and 5 between those 3, in fact. And 6 would go there. 8, 2, 1 will give me a 6 there. Let's just hold that for a second. If I don't have the 8, my other choice is 6, 4, 1. 6, 4, 1. I've got 2, 3, 5 there to choose from. Any set will fit this inequality with the 9. So 6, 4, 1. 2, 3, 5 between those. I've got 7, 8, 9. So with 6, 4, 1 there, I must have 8, 7 or 8, 9. Can't have 8, 9 there because it'd make this cage too big. Because I need at least a 1 to go. I can't have the 1, I need at least a 2 to go with it, in fact. And it'd be too big for a cage of size 2 to be greater than. So I must have the 9 there and the 7, 8. 7, 8, 2 to keep it at 17, and 8, 9 there. So 6, 4, 1. Then I've got an 8 here, so the 3 and 8 must be this way round. Must be 3 there and 8 there in the 11 cage. But 8, 2, 1 would be 5, 6. So if this is 3 and 8, the 3 must go on the left-hand side. And 6, 4, 1, I guess. Right. I've got 3, 7 in the with 6, 4, 1. Sorry, with 6, 4, 1, I've got 2, 5 in the 7 cage. 6, 4, 1, 2, 5. Um, 2, 3, 5 there. Right, well, I've got one little option out then. So my 8 in this column must be one of those. Could I have an 8 there? If I do, right. I've got at least 15 there. I couldn't have an 8 there, could I? If I got an 8 there, I've got at least 6 and 1 there. So this cage is at least 15. So this one is at least 15. It could be 6 and 9. I can't use an 8 in it. At least 15 without using an 8 is 9 and 6. So 8, 6, 9. 7 there. Right. That's possible, I think, for now. What if I have a big number here? Everything so far has pointed to me wanting... In fact, yeah, 6, 4, 1 there means I can't have a 1 there. And I have a big number there. I've got 7, 8. and 2, and yeah, 6, 4, 1, 7, 8, 2. If I've got sorry, 6. In fact, I've got to have a 1 there anyway. That's not a 1. So these two are quite big. In fact, they're 6, 7, 8, 9 between them. So I couldn't. 13's the minimum I've got there. Since these are maximum 17, the most I could have is 4. So that's in fact 2, 3, or 4. Yes, I should have spotted that a while ago. So in fact I must now have an 8 as one of these in this column. So that one won't be an 8. That's 7 or 9. 4, 6. So if I've got 3 or 4 there, I must have 8 and 9 here. So 4 must go with 6, 7 for 17, and I've got 8, 9. 3 could go with 6, 3 again must go with 6 and 7. It would only be 16 this time. I can't have both 7 and 9 there because it would take up both options of that one. So 3 with 8 and 9 as well. So, okay, let's put those in. With a 2 there, I've got 6, 7. I could have 6, 7. So I could have 15 without using the 7, which would be 6 at the bottom, not there because I've got a 6 there. 6 and 9. I can't have 7, 9. So in fact I must have 6, 9 or 8, 9 there. So I must have a 9 in that cage. So that one's a 7. That one's a 9. Right, so my 9... With a 9 there, I must also have a 7 there. And that one's a 9. 7, 9 can go from that one. Right, so my 6 or 8... 1, 6 or 8 there. One of 6 or 8 there. What could I still have in this column? I must have a 7, I must have a 6 or an 8, but not a 6 there because of that 6. If this 8 is 1, 3, 4, I'd have 2 there, I'd have a 5 in this column. If it's 1, 2, 5, I've got 1 of 3 and 4 there, I'd have the other 1 of 3 and 4 there. Right, so anything apart from 1, 2, 9, not narrowed it down that much. I've got 7 in this row now, so I know this 12 cage isn't 7 and 5. So in fact my 8 and my 9 are spoken for in this row, so I'm just left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to fill in the rest of that. So this 10 cage can no longer be 1 and 9. That's not a 9. In fact, my 9 must be inside the 13 cage in this box, so that's 4 and 9. So 4s and 9s can go. 3, 5, 7, 8 to fill those in. Right, well that's... I've got a 4 there now, that's no 4 there. Narrowing it down as we go, that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm looking at this box. I'm nothing jumping out at me here. So nothing less than 2 in that one, because I can't have... one would need to go with 9, can't have 9 there. So the numbers between 2 and 8 are available for that one. Right, so the 1 and 8... could have 1 and 8 there. 2, 7 or 3, 6. Right. So one of those 12 cages is 5 and 7. I know that much now. I can't have a 9 there anymore, because I can't have 1, 2 and 3 to go with it and make up the 15. In fact, I can't have an 8 there either, because I need 1, 2, 4, which I can't have. So with this 8, I also couldn't have 1, 2, 4 that I need to make these 4 up to 15. So that's not an 8. I've got a 3, 5 pair there now, so not 5 there, not 3 there. 3 and 5 can go from that one and from that one. So these two must add up to 7 to make those 4 up to 15. It only leaves 6 and 1. So that's not 1, 8 or 3, 6. That's 2, 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. So 2s and 7s can go from this one and this one. And the 8 can go from there. So this one isn't 5, 7. So 3, 4, 8, 9. This 12 cage must be 5 and 7. So my 5 in this box must be that one. And that must be at least 5. Can't be 5 again. Must be 6 to make it more than the 9. So 1, 3 there. Not 3 there. Not 9 there. So what could I have here? With 3, 9 there, I could have 4 or 8. Couldn't have 4 there. So with 3 there, I've got 8. With 3, 9 there, I've got 4, 8. So I couldn't have 8 there and 4. Or with 4, 8 there, I've got 3 and 9. Right. So 1s and 5s are in this box, so that's not 1 or 5. That's 2 or 4. But with the other one of 8 and 9 in there, and the other one of 2 and 4, that's what I've got. But not 2 or 4 there. So 8, 9 pair there, 2, 4 pair there. So 8s and 9s there. So that's not 3, 8. That's 5, 6. So that one's not 5 or 9. That's 3. So what can I have here? Not 6, not 2, not 4, not 8. That's 1. So in fact, with the 2 or 4 there, I've satisfied this inequality. Not got to worry about that anymore. So 5, 6 in the 11 cage will give me 3, 4 there. So that's 2. So 2, 4, 6 all spoken for. That's an 8 then. So 3, 4 there. That's a 2, that's a 4. 5, 6, 8, 3, 5. And 9 there. Okay, that's good. That's narrowed down a lot. So I've got a 2 in this column. Right, 8 and 2 not there. 6 and 4 not there. 3, 7 there. So 3 and 7 and 3 and 5 can go from that one. I've got 6 and 8 there as well. That only leaves me a 4 for that one and 1 and 2 for these two. So no 3s or 7s here. No 3 there. I've got an 8 in this column, so that's a 6. So no 6 in that one. I've got a 4 in the box. In fact, that's helpful. So 4s and 3s can go. So 1, 2 and 5. And that one's a 3 then. So 3, 4, 5 all spoken for. 7 and 8 there. And that's 3 and 4. So not 3, 4 there. So 5, 6, 8, 9. In fact, I've got 5 in that column. 5, 6, 8, 9 left as candidates for this one. What could I have? We've got 5 there. I've got at least 7, 6 and 1. That'll take me to 19, which can't be less than 19. So not 5 there. 1, 2. So I've got a 1, 2 pair there. So 5 there along with 3 or 4. So 19. I've got 3 there. So 1 and 3. So 8, 9, 3, 4. Okay. 2, 4, 4. So the 1 can't go in the 19 cage. The 1 in this box must go there. So 2 and 1 that way round. What could I still have here then? So I've got 30 there and 2 or 4 there. So 32, 34. So this one's 11 or 13. Right. Yeah, it could be either 11 or 13. Let's see. 2, 4. So the other one of 5 and 6 and the other one of 1 and 2 to go in those. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 for that row, for that column, sorry. 3, 4, 5. If I've got 8 there, I've got 6, 2, 1, that's 17, so that's still less than 19. Or 7 there. In fact, I've got minimum 13 there, so maximum 5 between those two. If I've got 2 there, I want 4 there. So with my minimum 13, I'm still not less than 19. So that's not a 2, that's a 1. So that's 7. I can't have 8 and 4, but any other combination, or can't have 7 and 2. So I've got 8, 2, can't have 7 or 2 because of that one. So I've got 8, 2 or 7, 4. So I've got 1 of 4, 8 and 9, along with 5 in this one. So I must have a 5 there. In fact, I've got a 5 in that row already. So 11 or 13 that was. My only odd number is a 9. To get an odd number, I need to have an odd plus an even. But my only odd candidate there is the 9 I've got here. So it must be 9 with 2 or 4 to get 11 or 13. So 2, 4 paired there now. So not 2 or 4 here. Not 2 or 4 here. And not a 9 there. So 5, 8 and 6. And not 6 there. So I've got 5, 8 there and 6 there. 5, 8 pair there. So that one's not a 5. So this is getting close now. Right. So yeah, I can't think of anything else which is blind. In fact, that's what I've just seen. So 3, 4 pair there. So that one's a 5. So there, 7 and 8 between them. So 5, 7, 4, or 5, 8, 3. So I've now got a 4, 3 pair there. So that's not 3 or 4. That's not 8 or 9. In fact, 3, 4 pair there as well, and 7, 8 pair there. So 1, 2, 9 between those, but not 9 there, because I've got one in the column already. Right. So there should be something. I've got two candidates. Well, I've got 2 or 3 left for most cells. That one still has 4. But there must be something jumping out pretty soon. But I'm not seeing it. So 5, 8 pair there. I've got 4 there. So that inequality is satisfied. That inequality is satisfied. This one is satisfied as long as I don't use 8 and 4. I've got 8 there already, that's it. So that one's 7 and 2 and 7. I've got 2 there now, so that's 4 and 9 and 4 and 2 and 8. Right, so 2, 5, 6. I've got 7, 8 there, so that one's 5 and 8 and 5 and 8. I've got 1 there, so that one's 2, 1, 6. So 2, 5, 6. Just looking at the place where I've got 4 candidates, that's where my attention's drawn. So all inequalities. How about this one actually? 3, 6, 7. That's 16. I need a 9 there, so I don't have a 9 there. I no longer have 4 candidates for that one. So X-wing time, I've got a 9 in one of those two and a 9 in one of those two. So my 9 in this box must be on the bottom row, so it must be there. Right, so that's 9. So 3, 8 or 4, 7 there. 1, 2... Is that the only place in that row I could have a 2? No, I could have a 2 there. So 9 with 6 or 8. In fact, 9, 6 wouldn't. That's 16, so 9 and 6 wouldn't satisfy that inequality. So it's got to be 8 and 9. Right, let's see that one then. 8, 9. Deadly pattern, 5, 6, 5, 6. So I can't have 5 or 6 there. That's 2. Right, so... Now every unknown has 2 candidates, it seems. 3, 4, 8, 9, 8. 1, 6. 5, 6. Right. Something's going to give, I'm sure of it. 3, 4. So that inequality is now satisfied. That one is now satisfied. All inequalities now satisfied. I could have 3, 8 or 7, 4 there. I've got an 8, 9 pair there, so that's it. So 7 and 4 and 8 and 3 and 7 and 3. So I've got 7 in that column. 1, 7, 2, 1, 4, 2, 6, 1, 5, 6, 5, 6. I've got a 3 in that row, sorry, so that's a 4, and 3 and 9 is at 12, 4 and 8 is at 12, 8, 9. I've got a 5 on the bottom, so 7, 5. I've got a 3 there, so 4, 3, and 9 there, so 8, 9 there, and just that one to go. Right, that's it. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.